We are live.
Let's go, baby. It's good to be back on the show. Holy shit, I forgot we had a show. That's nuts, man. What's been going on in your world, man?
Let's see, got a new dog.
I saw that. What a cute little doggy that is.
Yeah, we rescued her. We love the mini Shar-Pei breed, and we found something was going on. So I mean, like I had her checked out today. That's what I did all day today. I took her to the vet and did all that stuff. So
sure, right?
But yeah, she's good. I was actually a little surprised because like face full of scars, stuff like her dad. You know what I mean? Like face full of scars, all fucked up.
They say dogs end up looking like their owners, or vice versa. So I think we're in the right place.
We're in the right place, man. So how you been? Like I know you've been busy.
Yeah, California was good. California was good, and since we do get into some really cryptic stuff here because we talk about the news, just want to give some good information here. Good news: we had one of our athletes win Mr. Football in Tennessee. That's right, Mr. Eric Hazard pulling it up, Mr. Football. There's a Coach Price yesterday. Here's his dad giving us some props. Really nice stuff. Just want to give a shout out. That was a big part of my day, a good part of my day. Seeing that. So yeah, it's been a hell of a little run. We ended up losing the state title game, but hey, we got a lot of things going on, and next year we'll come back even stronger. And he's off to Louisville, the University of Louisville. We got William Weebush, who's going to the Wake Forest, and then we have Gavin, who is a 5-star punter. He's actually I just had coaching him right now. Him and William were in today, and he's going to the University of Arkansas. So we have 3 Power 5 players from that one team. It's been awesome. So yeah, can't say much more about how good life's going. I mean, a lot of things up in the air. There's a lot of great business opportunities. A lot of things we can't wait to tell you about. And Ambrosia's great. Was up there at HQ with Mike, Sean, and the team, and got some work done. And I'm back. It's wrestling season, so it's awkward because there's tournaments every day. It's like every day there's something, and then there's like, oh, I get to wrestle today. Oh, okay. So good news is tomorrow I'll be back. Tomorrow's JV's wrestling, so he'll be fine.
The thing is, man, like that's the important stuff. Me and you talk offline all the time about it. Like, yeah, I mean, the opinion show's great, and I love doing this. I really do. It's like therapy, bro. But a big thing that I always impress upon, like, you know, through all the swear words, through all the insanity that we do and stuff like that, it's about helping everybody as much as we can either get healthy or really flourish in life. And you're giving kids an opportunity to, I mean, like just what you just went through. So, dude, one more time, it's just amazing that you are how many kids you're helping and stuff like that. I'm so impressed, bro.
I appreciate it, man. It's been great. But, you know, there's another feel-good story I don't think we're talking about enough. Mm-hmm. This is a very feel-good story. I just been wanting to share this for a while and talk about this. So, yeah, talk about feeling good. This woman just slept with 100 dudes. 100 dudes. So here's her post-performance interview here. She seems to be walking fine. Yeah. Let's see what she has to say.
It's not for the weak, girls. If I'm honest, it was hard.
Do you like the music in the background, dude? Like, that's crazy. They have the like oh my God, this is the downfall of society right here. Let's see what she has to say. Hold on.
I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Why not?
Oh my God.
I think if you're a different type of girl, it's very like, it's kind of like being a prostitute in a sense of.
You are a prostitute. All OnlyFans girls are prostitutes, for the record.
This is society.
Yeah.
Like,
jeez.
It's just a different. feeling. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
it's not like just having sex with someone.
yeah, just one in, one out. Like, it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Oh my God. I guarantee you there's no dad in that girl's life.
What the fuck, man? Like, you know, that's we just like she looked like she was about to break down. And I understand, but it's like people do anything to get fucking famous nowadays. Good God, that's wild.
You say you understand. I absolutely do not understand.
Well, I mean,
I don't
I understand that she's upset, but I understand by looking at her that she's upset, but I don't understand that either.
How did she think it was going to go? Right? Like, how did she think it was going to be like good? I mean, you're literally just being literally ran through by 100 dudes. I'm having trouble grappling with it. Now, this isn't the first time this has been done.
Who's number 100? Like, what kind of fucking poor, fucking pathetic, sloppy fucking dude is that?
The thing is, what we've done in society is we have made sex just basically. We've just made it we've made it an exchange. We haven't made it's gone beyond like love and procreation. It's gone into like a recreational transactional. Right. That's the word it's become a transactional act where we've taken away what sex actually, and I'm not one to say what sex should be. I'm not judging anyone for having premarital promiscuous sex. I'm not judging you on that, right? Like you do, you live your life, just don't get in my way. But what have we done as society where we're sexualizing kids? You know, that's the thing, is that when you look at what we talk about with the whole, I don't know if I can say this word on YouTube, the whole G word that rhymes with rooming. When we talk about that, we're not just talking about, you know, not talking about the gay stuff. We're not talking about the pride flag, but that has a lot to do with it, because the pride flag is in and of itself exposing these children to sexuality well before they should probably be exposed to sexuality, let alone the nuances of gay, straight, transgender, pansexual. Like, there's a pansexual day. I didn't know it was that big of a thing. I didn't even know a pansexual. I had to look it up when I first heard it like 2 years ago. Like, what the hell is that? They're coming up with different terms for sexual. Like, when I was a kid, there was gay and straight. That was it. Like, you were gay, you were straight, or you were just a weirdo. Now it's like, okay, there's pansexual, there's asexual, there's non-binary, there's all these different things. Queer, which I still don't understand queer. It just means any of the above. So I think what we're looking at here is confusion. And that's why we have all these kids who are like, oh, a boy going like, I'm a girl. And what is it, like 80-something% of the time they grow out of it, because as kids, they're very malleable. They're very impressionable. They don't know what's going on. And so you start feeding them all this stuff, and their brains, like your reasoning center of your brain, isn't fully developed till like 25 years old. So you're giving all these things to kids who cannot reason, and you're giving them these non-innocent things in their brains, and it confuses them. And that's like, you know what? I like hair, so I think I might be female. No, maybe you just like hair. Like, I remember one time I played with a Barbie doll. I didn't once think that, I like dudes. No, I was like,
off with the penis.
I was like, hey, it was in like a bag of toys. I remember, like, I won a toy bag at school or something, and it had like a bunch of stuff in a Barbie doll. I'm like, this is cool. I'll play with it. And I didn't once think, I like dudes now. Like, the problem is you're not just letting kids develop and mature, and their brains are not wired yet. So they will be. You just got to give it a chance for the wiring to complete. It's like being an electrician. You have a bunch of wires hooked up, and you don't hook up the last 20% of the wires. The friggin' outlet's not going to work. You know, and that's what we're doing with these kids. It's just frustrating to see. And going back to this is just the glorification of women being whores. And I mean that in the most non-negative sense, where women are flaunting how much money they're making on OnlyFans. And so these other girls are thinking, well, it's an easy way to make money, but they don't realize you can't buy your soul. And it's really sad to see. As a father with a daughter, I just look at this and I'm like, oh my goodness, we've normalized being a hooker.
You know, and I think it's just such a all-encompassing thing. I really think that as dudes get more and more and more, feminized, basically, that low T levels, everything like that. That's not a normal state at all to be in. Like, so when young men start developing and they don't develop the type of testosterone they need from either being obese or just, they ingest or around a lot of endocrine disruptors or who knows what, they don't work out. Like, if you have a child, by the way, if you have a boy and you just sit them in front of a computer or a TV screen or something like that, their hormones are not going to develop the way they're supposed to. Like, we are supposed to exert ourselves, right? Yep. And I think that has a lot to do with it. And then it just, a generation of super fucking weak men. Like, now, don't get me wrong, 18 to 25, I'm looking pretty fucking good right now. I mean, I see a lot of these kids really starting to work out, that sort of thing. But I've never seen anything like this in our life. I don't think any of us have, but I'm sure it's repeated because there's that phrase that, hard times make strong men make good times make weak men, repeat. Mm-hmm. And we are definitely at the good times make weak men portion. And these fucking weak men are also like almost arrogant about it. Like, they're like, somehow I have never understood how in a world where you and I grew up in, where the male role models were action heroes, football players, pro wrestlers, Chuck Norris, those sorts of things. And now they're the people they look up to are effeminized men. And I just find that to be wild. Like, I think that that's a huge portion of the problem, because now, these dudes, a lot of these dudes don't even know how to talk to girls. Like, there's almost no socialization in real life. So now they are dependent upon OnlyFans, and women capitalize off of it. If men were being men, there wouldn't be OnlyFans. I
don't blame the women. I do blame them for having lack of morals and ethics. That's the thing. But what kind of man is paying $9.99 a month for a woman to strip for you and other men who pay a subscription? I just look at that and I'm like, how could you look yourself in the mirror? Like, how can you live with yourself? And you see it, these OnlyFans girls will post on Twitter and these simps are like, oh, let's see it, honey. Oh, you look great. And they're all losers. Like, none of them are good looking men. None of them lift. None of them are in shape. Yeah. That's the one commonality I see, is that the men who buy OnlyFans don't look like us. The men who buy OnlyFans don't look like Cernovich. They don't look like PDB. They look like soft ass little bitches. And that's the bottom line. Weightlifting can save the world. Nobody going to my gym, I guarantee you this, nobody at Carbon Performance in the morning as a male is subscribing to OnlyFans. They're just not, because they have too much self-pride, self-confidence, and they're just not going to pay a woman to tease them virtually. Like, have you thought about what kind of male consumes porn? Like, what kind of, consuming porn's fine. Pays for this OnlyFans stuff. I'm not against porn. I'm not one of those guys. Like, porn destroys your mind. No, I'm not that. If you want to watch porn once in a while, I don't think it's going to destroy your mind. If you watch it repetitively, yes, there is some issues with dopamine. I don't think porn's destroying the world. I don't blame porn for all the world's problems. But what I do blame is weak men, right? Yeah. Like, I do blame them, but I actually will argue up and down about people who are on this we need to ban porn. No, adults need to make their own decisions and their own choices. But that doesn't mean that we can't criticize their choices. And if you want to support this industry and support degeneracy and pay a woman to tease you virtually, along with other idiots who pay $9.99 a month for their OnlyFans, like, you're the problem. Like, and that's indicative of you being just a weak individual overall.
I would agree with that. And I hope to see, like, I'm hoping we're kind of coming back into like almost like a renaissance area of manhood, like where it's going to be like, okay, men need to start stepping up. In lots of ways too, dude. Like, it's not just that portion. It's that, they need to stay with your kids and with that. I saw PDB got it, and I have nothing against the guys from Fresh and Fit. I really don't. No. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But I saw the one guy.
Myron's a friend of mine.
Yeah. I saw Myron and PDB were going back and forth a little bit, but because Myron was, basically saying that, like, if the child is not yours, like, don't date the woman or something like that. Like, wow. And as somebody that's adopted my son, like, I'm just like, first of all, I would argue that, like, I don't understand why some of these guys think that their genetics are that important, like to spread to spread. And the more important lessons you have to give to a child don't come from your genetics. They come from like who you foster. Like you think of almost all your coaching kids as your kids, right?
Yes, they are my kids.
Like they're your kids, right? And to me, we need more men like me and you who it's like, you know what? Here's a child that needs like a male figure in their life. Be that male figure. Like, don't get so caught up in like, it's not my seed. Like that takes a fucking weak, small man to think that shit. I'm sorry. I mean, and I'm not trying to like, again, Myron, I'm not, if you ever do watch, I'm not trying to knock you. I just think that you're very fucking short-sighted. You're not a father yet. You don't understand it. And you're a young kid who thinks that, who basically has a idea planted through your head. And I'm not saying he's ever going to change his mind. I am saying that like, you know, the world is a lot different than that to view it where like, that's not a real thing. Like there is nothing more to me. There's nothing more inspiring than seeing a dude step into the life of a child who could use a male role model in their life and be that figure for them. Right. That to me, that's manly, you know? Absolutely. And I just think society, and I'm giving myself compliments, but I just think society like misses that stuff. Right. We've got so many people that talk about abortion and shit like that. You know, maybe if more men would step up and take care of children that weren't their own or adopt kids and stuff like that, maybe that would actually help on that realm too, right? It's weird.
Another problem is the adoption process is so difficult.
Dude,
I mean,
you don't even need to fucking, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
trust me.
I mean, if we want people to adopt kids, like, you know, I know one of my good friends, he played in the NFL. He's a great guy. He actually adopted a couple kids from Africa, you know, a couple of kids, you know, a couple of orphans, you know, doing a good thing, raising these children as his own. You know, they're living great lives, living in Brentwood, you know, they're living it up. But even he gets, you know, shit from that. You know, it's like, and then there was one guy, I think Tyler, I forgot his last name. He's of Tote, T-O-D-T. I think it was him. He posted he has a wife and he adopted a couple black kids. And people give him shit for that. Like, no, that is a good thing. That is something we should encourage. It's absolutely asinine and insane that we should, as a society, be, as men, we should be taking on these children who need parents. We should we should be their role models. We should be a mentor for them. And that you want to get rid of the crime problem, get more dads out there.
Absolutely.
Get involved in your own community. I mean, I've been yelling this from the top of the mountaintop since the beginning of my YouTube channel back in the early 2000s. Like, be the change you want to see. All we do is complain, oh, there's so much crime in your city. It's not a broken culture, right? It's not it's not a broken race. It's not like black people are born with this inclination for a propensity for violence. I don't believe that. It's that the culture they're in, they don't have a dad. They don't have a male role model. You know, you see these inner city kids, and I see them all the time. We play sports against these Metro Nashville teams. These are good kids. These are good kids, but you look on the football sideline and they don't have any dads. There's no dads. The stadium, the stands are empty. These kids are playing for nobody. They're just worried about putting food on the table, and they're worried about going to school. And they're worried about getting out. They're worried about surviving. So, you know, all they need, and I guarantee you the kids on the football field, the thing keeping their shit together is sports. If it wasn't for sports, what would they be doing? If they weren't at practice, if they weren't at the game, where would they be? Guarantee you it would probably not be up to any good. So that's why we need, as a society, to come together and help these kids in your local community. And until we do that, we're not going to fix anything. We could legislate things. We could do all this. We could say everything we want, but there's no action. Oh, well, yeah, you know, someone needs to do something about that. What about you?
Yeah.
Why don't you do something about it? But nobody wants to do it. All we want to do is complain. And it's frustrating, dude. It's frustrating because we know the answer. We've seen the statistics with single parent households. We've seen the statistics with inner cities. And it's not because they're black. It's because of their surroundings. And I grew up around those surroundings. And it's hard to get out. It's hard. Who's going to get you out? You got to be able to afford to get out. Like, well, let's just move. Move where? I live in fucking Section 8 housing. Where am I going to move? Where are they going to go? Live on the street somewhere? Who's going to hire a 16-year-old with no dad, no money, and nowhere to fucking live? Come on, dude. Like, yes, it is systemic, but it's not racism. It's systemic classism.
Well, yes. And like, the more I'm examining this, like you just brought up a thought in my head. I would love to see the statistics on the highest concentrations of fatherless children and like what cities they are and who's been running those cities for the last 30 or 40 years.
Democrats, because what do Democrats do?
Democrats. Yeah.
Well, where did they put all the Planned Parenthoods made? By the way, Planned Parenthood was founded by a white woman who wanted to get rid of black people. So where are the Planned Parenthood situated? In black neighborhoods.
Wow.
In black neighborhoods. So it's pretty easy to find out. Like, why this is happening is because Democrats always want to keep the black people down because they want that vote. What's really going to be interesting is that the black vote actually went more Trump than any Republican, I believe, in history. So what happens? Do the Democrats turn their back or do they ratchet down on the race card? Because look, I'm not saying either party's better, but the Democrats have been abusing black people since the days of the KKK, which, by the way, were Southern Democrats.
Yeah, I think that they're going to ratchet down. I think they're actually trying to put Black Lives Matter. They're trying to bring it back from the dead with this Daniel Penny shit.
Which is not the case to do it.
No, it's absolutely not. Like, because I would hope, like, here's why the multifaceted reason why they want Daniel Penny to go to jail is because Mark actually does something. Oh, Alan does his bitch and complain. Okay. I help tens of thousands of people lose weight. Thank you, bitch. But anyway, it's funny.
That's why sometimes I turn off the comments during the show, but I love them. So there's different ways to help people, right? Like, my strength is coaching sports and kids. Alan's strength is helping people losing weight. Either way, we've both contributed to society, Alan, by bringing down the healthcare costs for you and your family and everybody around you, by helping people, live better, healthier lives. And most of his information is free. And me, I'm a local guy. Like, I like kids. That sounds so ditty. I'm not going to say that. Let's not say it that way. No, man, my gift, what I was put on earth to do is coach kids. What Alan was put on earth to do was to help people better themselves. And either way, we're helping people better themselves. So absolutely. The thing that the band stick is hard today, isn't it, Alan?
I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just like, fuck it. Like,
you're like Cernovich tonight. You got a little Cernovich action going on.
Yeah, I got a little Cernovich action. Because here's the thing. I would say, hey, you could come join me and check it out. But then they would try not to join with their camera. And it's all the same shit. So I'll let them pull out their other troll account and come on here again, too. So
Limpstick. What a name.
Right. Like, I'm sorry, but have your profile picture, your name, and maybe I'll listen to you. You'll stay. But otherwise, if you want to call yourself Limpstick, I'm going to treat you like a Limpstick.
Hilarious.
But the wild thing, I think, is that they have it multifaceted, where as long as black people are technically oppressed in these cities, they get to be like, well, black people are oppressed. Like, yeah, you're the ones doing it. Like you're the ones literally doing it. And secondly, it's a matter of a voting block. And with the Daniel Penny thing, they want people like us to not interfere. Like, if somebody's getting their ass whooped or threatening other people, they don't want people to step in, right? Yeah. Although it's weird because right now the duality is kind of crazy, right? Because right now they're trying to impress upon Daniel Penny should have never stepped in. This was horrible. This was horrible. This was horrible. Thank goodness this Luigi guy shot the fucking the CEO for a healthcare company. Like, so crazy man threatening the lives of people on a train should be left to his own devices. CEO of a healthcare company, they're cheering for his death. It's like it's their comedy right at this stage, I feel bad for these people that don't see it.
Did you hear that the attorney in this case is arguing that there's zero evidence that Luigi actually did that he actually did it,
besides the gun matching the shell casings left at the scene?
Well, so here's the deal. The whole thing is creepy, dude. Like, the whole thing doesn't add up. It looks like some kind of a weird, like, okay, first of all, why does he have the gun on him? days after the shooting.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean, there's a lot of things that don't add up here. Why is he taking off his mask to flirt with someone at Starbucks? Why is he chilling in McDonald's? Like, there are so many things that just don't add up here. And he had back pain. That was his issue, back pain. So I'm just looking at this and I'm like, man, my back's been sore sometimes. I've never thought of offing the guy who runs the company. I'm like, my back hurts. The whole thing is just so odd. And I don't trust anything anymore with the FBI. Anything. The FBI has lost all my trust. They're done.
Did you see the head of the FBI resign today?
I did not see that.
Yeah, give me a second. I'll find it.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. He knows his job's over come January 20th. So
I think
that is crazy.
It wouldn't surprise me if he went to a non-extradition country.
I would. I'd be like, I'm out. I'm going to like the Caymans or something. I don't know if that's an extradition country, but I'm guessing they're not.
The Caymans, yeah, I'd imagine they're not.
Well, I mean, the Caymans, we went there on our honeymoon, and my wife and I actually accidentally stumbled upon a nude beach. Well, it was a nudity optional. We're just walking along. We had no idea. Next thing you know, I'm walking titties. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm looking at titties. And my wife goes, what are you looking at? And I said, titties.
Titties.
And she acted like she was going to be, I'm like, look, man, I can't. I had to look. I'm like, oh.
She's not looking. Like, I mean.
It's like, well, my response was, if a dude's walking out with his, I'm looking too. If a dude is walking down the beach with his schlong hanging out, you're going to look.
Yeah.
We're all going to look.
So here's
they were
the
really
FBI.
nice.
Were they good ones?
I like titties. I mean, I'm not like big, small. I like them all, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. So here we go. This is Christopher Wray announces resignation.
After weeks of careful thought, I've decided the right thing for the Bureau is for me to serve until the end of the current administration in January and then step down.
Like he really got, like, I love how he forms it. Like, I am stepping down. Like, dude, you are absolutely getting fired.
Everybody's getting fired, dude. Like, he's already named the director. Like, it's Kash Patel.
Yeah.
Like I've already been replaced, but I'm gonna step down. Like, you have no choice, bro. Yeah. I like how they're acting like, oh, Trump can't fire. Who is he trying to fire? Who is they talking about not firing? But there's one guy. It's like, oh, he should make it where he can't fire him. I'm like, Trump can fire everybody.
Yeah. He's
literally the boss. He can fire anyone he wants. He doesn't need a reason. He's just coming in. It's my administration. You're fired. And they can't extend their contracts. It's not like that. It's really wild how the reading the Democrats, their heads are still exploding.
Mm-hmm.
So did you actually try out the Blue Sky?
I did.
How was it?
Dude, it is next. It's like if X was on lithium. So, you know what I mean? Like, it is so impressively crazy. It is what I would imagine like the darkest, deepest regions of Truth Social would be, just flipped. You know what I mean? Like, there's people on there right now that are like, oh, Kamala's got a plan. Trump will not be president. Kamala will still be president. Like, it's some pretty crazy shit, right?
So it's basically QAnon, but with Democrats.
Absolutely, 100%.
Except probably exactly a bit even more unhinged, because at least QAnon, what they actually rationalized it with numbers. Remember that? They're like, well, January is the number 1 and February is the number 2. So January comes before February. That means Trump will be president. I'm like, what am I reading? I remember I went down that rabbit hole where I read the forum that Q posts in, and I'm like, people actually believe this shit. I'm like, this is wild. And people are like, yeah, bro. Yeah, it's totally going to happen. Like, Trump was sent here by Jesus Christ himself, and Trump's going to save the world. And right now he's underground rescuing children who are being trafficked. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what? This is nuts. And I'm like, well, it might be true. But I believe anything. Like, I believe any conspiracy for at least a minute right now. I'm like, let me look into that. Yeah, that's crazy.
You have to. Like, we'll get to we'll of course get to the UFOs here in a second, but here's Taylor Lorenz. This woman, for just so everybody knows, she is like the head of Blue Sky. I swear, like, But listen to this craziness.
She's not wearing a mask.
Characterization of what you said and inferring that you were feeling joyful about what had happened to this guy. So we've got the clip and we'll just play it back just to remind.
Is that Tommy, Lauren?
Yeah.
She's a handsome
woman. I believe
woman.
in the sanctity of life, and I think that's why I felt, along with so many other Americans, joy. Unfortunately, because it feels like
serious.
I mean,
joy in a man's execution.
Maybe not joy, but certainly not. No, what I said, certainly not. This is literally.
So you felt joy. You felt joy.
Glad that you played that clip, because you'll see that I didn't
and then
say
she
that
said she misspoke and clarified.
Oh.
And I didn't say that.
You don't think, Mark, it was more that she
death?
wished she hadn't said she felt joy, because
No.
she suddenly realized how bad it
Why
sounded.
don't you listen to that clip again? Because I don't say that I feel joy in the man's death. I said I feel joy because. And that's
she looks
exactly
insane.
when you cut me off. And if you let
She's
me
nuts.
finish, I would say, I feel joy.
Bullshit.
Oh, bullshit. Pierce, you don't know what was in my head.
That's not. She's right. She's right, Pierce.
Bullshit.
She actually said, I feel joy, and then you interrupted her there. Perhaps, I don't know what she was going to say, but she certainly didn't get a chance to finish.
Well,
finish
the viewers
thought.
can watch the whole thing in the right context.
And you may not realize this, but
we don't censor things here. Mark, I don't know why you're going out of your way to defend her, mate. Because Taylor, let's be honest, what you said. You wish you hadn't said it.
Truth.
Let me give Taylor an opportunity. Would you like to apologize for using the word joy?
Again, if you take the word joy completely.
Well, don't apologize ever for anything.
I don't think she will. I think the Democrats have this one right.
Yeah.
Out of context from the word that I said.
Would you like to?
It was because
would you like to
I'm so glad
apologize?
you just played the clip.
Yes or no?
You just played the clip that showed that I said I feel joy because, and that's right when you cut me off. So let me tell you why I feel joy. I feel joy because people like you, who are rich and powerful and on TV and have all the access to all the healthcare privileges in the world, are finally being forced to pay attention to the barbaric healthcare system that murders tens of thousands of innocent Americans. And that is what I feel joy in, that people like you are forced to confront those systemic problems.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't she a very big advocate on masks, vaccine, the jibby jab, the jibby jab and other stuff?
He was talking about Maxine, like Maxine Waters.
Yeah, Maxine Waters,
he did not say that with a V, YouTube. If you're watching this, it's not with a V, algorithms, it's with an M, Maxine.
But wasn't she very big advocate for all that stuff at some point in time? Like,
well, she still wears masks she still wears masks, but she's not wearing a mask because she's in the same video as people. Like this woman is completely unhinged and nuts. But you know why they win though, Alan? We'll get back to that. But why they win is the same reason we don't win, because let me share this tab real quick. So like Caitlin Clark could have just kept her mouth shut and been like, nah. She says, I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. This league has been built on black players. The more you can elevate black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing. Dude, they're all black. You're like one of 3 white people in the league.
That's just sad.
Why do they always do this? Like, I'd be like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm white. Okay. And the league was nothing before she came there. But again, every white person feels this need to be like, oh, I'm so sorry I'm white. I'm not sorry I'm white, motherfucker. I didn't choose to be white. I was born white. My family wasn't even here. We didn't do anything wrong. We did nothing. We just came here. We're like, cool. We came here, legally immigrated here. We're like, cool. America's fucking great. Let's go. Let's all live together in this melting pot of harmony. And then they're like, fuck you. You're white. And I'm like, oh, fuck you. I'm not going to take that shit. You can hold a fucking gun to my head. I'm not going to apologize for being white. Kiss my ass. SMD. F you. I'm tired of this shit, man. It's fucking stupid. Why should anybody apologize for being what they were born? I didn't choose to be white. I'm not getting any fucking privilege. No privilege. None.
Right.
None. In fact, when I was getting into college, they had affirmative action. It was against me. The only reason I ever played football, that I put all my eggs in the football baskets, I couldn't get into college because I was white. Because the UCs were not admitting whites or Asians at the time because there were too many on the quota. Don't tell me about fucking privilege. You want privilege? So you tell me a black kid growing up in Brentwood, Tennessee is going to be better than me growing up in fucking where I grew up? Come the fuck on.
No shit.
Come the fuck on. A black kid growing up to a great family in a big house in Brentwood, Tennessee has less privilege, has less privilege than me growing up to a drug addict mom and a sick dad. Go ahead and fucking tell me that, you fucking assholes. Yeah, some people are more privileged than others. Yes. But the thing about America, that doesn't fucking matter. Everybody can become a millionaire. Everybody can become rich. You just have to fucking work and have proper breaks. You have to work hard enough. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Luck begets hard work begets luck. So if you work hard, there's more likely to be shit that happens around you that makes you successful. I'm so fucking tired of this shit. So fucking tired of it.
There's so many aspects of that too, because if you work hard at something, you normally, in order to work really hard at something, you surround yourself with other people that work hard.
Bingo.
You know, it's a matter of like your surroundings too, and you build those surroundings. Like, like that's why people like group together with like people. That's also why there's things called societal contagions, right? Like it's statistically proven that if you hang out with a bunch of people that drink alcohol, you're likely going to drink more than when you normally would. If you hang out with a bunch of people that work out, you're likely going to work out more than if you wouldn't. You know what I mean? If you hang out with fat people, you're more than likely going to get fat. That's why obesity is a societal contagion at this point in time. You know, it's the same thing with the transgender thing. If you impress upon people that it's very cool and awesome, people are going to fucking do it. You know, like people are going to think that way. There's so many people, like we just played a clip of a girl who banged 100 dudes in a day, right? Like, literally, I don't know if it was a day or an hour or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know.
It was in one day. I doubt it was an hour. Yeah. Maybe if they last as long as me, it could have been an hour. But
I was waiting for one of us to set it up.
I could easily do it 100 times in an hour.
But you know, like there's shit like that where it's like people will do anything to be seen as special, even if it's negative in their life, right? Like. We see people all the time. There's these what I eat in a day videos of like morbidly obese people eating thousands and thousands of calories gleefully and joyfully. There's that girl that slept with 100 dudes who's like advertising it. Now that girl who looked like she was upset about that is now saying she's looking to do 1,000 in a day. You know, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? You know, like, but they'll do anything to get famous. So people will change their gender or to get famous, especially when they don't need to actually change their gender. They can just kind of say, my truth is that I'm a woman, you know? Like, and that kind of leads us into our main story.
Here we go. Here we go. You've been waiting the whole time for this, guys.
Yeah. So Nancy Mace.
Nancy Based.
Yeah, Based. Nancy Mace has, for those of you that don't know who she is, this is her. Give me 1 second. I want to pull up a good article about this.
So I'll give the background while you pull that up. So she basically proposed a bill, which it's now in action, that in DC and in government buildings that men cannot use women's restrooms. And to everybody with a brain who isn't retarded, it sounds like a pretty sensible idea. Like, hey, you know, I don't think we should have potential predators being able to go into women's restrooms and sexually assault women. I think that's a fantastic idea. Again, as a person with a wife and a daughter, why don't we keep dudes with stubble out of women's restrooms, or even dudes who have long hair and think they're women out of women's restrooms? Because if I was a predator, I would simply put on a wig and go in a women's restroom. Or these guys don't even put on wigs. Like Alan said before, you just have to say you're a woman and people have to be like, you okay. You're a woman.
Yep.
So it's like, I think it's very sensible. And apparently about probably 40% of this country is absolutely ridiculously retarded. So they're like, oh, no, she's a bigot and a racist and a transphobe.
Yep. And she was recently assaulted by a transgender person in the Capitol building, or in the Capitol. So this is, Democrats know the difference between right and wrong. Nancy, the person accused of accosting Representative Nancy Mace at Capitol building pleads guilty to assault charges. So she was assaulted. Even though, by the way, there's people saying like, oh no, it wasn't that way. The person's pleading guilty. Pleads not guilty. Okay. So the person is pleading not guilty. This person's saying Democrats don't know the difference between right and wrong. Let me pull this up for us.
Crazy.
It is nuts.
These people are not right.
No. A person accused of accosting U.S. Rep. Nancy Mace in Capitol office buildings pleaded not guilty on Wednesday to misdemeanor assault charges. Witnesses told police that James McIntyre, 33 of Chicago, shook Mace's hand in an exaggerated, aggressive manner after approaching the South Carolina Republican in the Rayburn House office. So in an exaggerated manner, like, I mean, come on now. Witnesses told police, Mace, who is identified only by her initials in the court filing, posted a string of social media messages about the incident saying she was physically accosted at the Capitol building. I'm sorry, but it's wild to me that this woman has literally, she's a rape survivor, a rape victim. Like she's literally a survivor of sexual assault.
Yeah.
And her basic premise was that she doesn't want men going into the restroom with her, even if those men identify as women. And I know it's an unpopular opinion amongst the loonbags, but trans women are a category of men.
With mental illness.
With mental illness, right?
It is a mental illness. Like, no matter how you slice it,
yeah,
transgenderism is a mental illness. Now, you could be a great transgender person. You could be an upstanding citizen and be transgender, but you have a mental illness. And that's not a bad thing.
No.
ADHD is a mental illness, right?
Yeah.
So you can be perfectly normal and fine with a mental illness. However, you have to understand that in society, you have to live amongst others.
Yeah.
So if you are a dude who identify, and I don't think a lot of these people even identify as women. I think it's a way. So we talked about the white privilege thing and Caitlin Clark. What better way? Now, you notice that it's more prevalent. I don't know the stats, but it is more prevalent amongst affluent white people.
Yeah.
Right. What better way to become a member of a victim class where you're no longer just a mean white person than being like,
right.
no, I'm not a mean white person. I am in the victim class because I am transgender, because I am special. I am different. I am a protected person and people are going to hurt me. You don't fear for your safety.
No.
You don't fear for your safety. Nobody cares. Nobody's walking around beating up transgender people. Like, it's not happening. It might it's not, if it is happening, I'm sure it has happened. It's not a prevalent thing. Like, if a Jewish guy gets his ass kicked, I'm like, oh my God, they're beating the Jews. No, it's just one Jewish guy got his fucking ass kicked. It's
right.
like, oh my fucking God. Like, nobody cares, but they want attention. Like, if you go to, like, you talk to any high school kid, there's always one or two transgenders, and all they do is they cry out for attention. They fucking wear dog collars and shit to school. Like, they want to be weird. They want people to discriminate against them so they can be like, oh, I'm being discriminated against. I'm a victim. No, you're a fucking white person who wants to feel like a fucking victim. That's all you are. There's nothing special about you other than the fact that you're crying for attention. You don't have a dad, or your dad really fucking sucks in your life, and here you are. It is what it is. Like, why do you think all these Hollywood actors, kids are all trannies, like transgenders? Sorry, that was talking about my car. YouTube, talking about my car. Talking about my car. I was changing out the tranny in my Chevy.
I don't know if it's my end or your end, but you're frozen.
I did freeze. I froze.
You're frozen.
I'm gonna restart.
All right. Well, what I don't understand with this that's going on is that, like, the whole trans genocide thing, I hear that often, right? Show me statistics. You know, I mean, oh, and there's Mark back. Are you back, sir?
I don't know what's going on.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's weird. My camera.
Yeah.
All right, let me go back.
All right.
Be back.
But if there is a trans genocide going on, it's being committed by themselves. It's a self-genocide. The suicide rates are through the roof. And as a newsflash, that doesn't get better with, the gender transitioning surgeries, from what I understand. From what I understand, the gender transitioning surgeries, especially the bottom surgeries, like, a person who gets bottom surgery has like a massively increased chance of suicide. It's almost like we shouldn't actually do it anymore. There he is.
My camera just decided to shut down. I don't
know.
T-word. I think the T-word. I think somebody just knocked out my camera. I think attack. I'm pretty sure it was the Russians.
Yeah. Well, what I was saying while you were combating the Russians was that, like, you were talking about trans genocide. if there's a transgenocide going on, it's a self-inflicted one. Their suicide rates are through the roof, especially after they have the bottom surgery. After they have the bottom surgery, it's like increases their suicide risk by like 80% or something like that.
It's crazy how, and yet by us telling the truth, we're labeled these crazy terms. Like we're doing something wrong. We're just trying to get truth out there. And that's the problem. Like we were talking, I was listening to Rogan I forgot his name, talking about the whole misinformation thing, right?
Oh my
like
God,
the problem is who determines what's in misinformation. If we were going by the government and the director of health right now is a fat, obese man dressed as a woman,
right?
Like, how do you Richard Levine, whatever, I just dead named him, her, hit shit, whatever. You know, the problem is we don't, the government would determine what misinformation is. And that is not a good thing, people. That is not a good thing. Imagine if during 2020, well, actually it did happen. So never mind. Like Elon saved the earth. Like he saved America, which is going to save the world. Twitter has saved America. It really has. I don't think people understand. And the left should be thanking us because the left should be the people historically who are all about free speech. When did the left become the party of big government?
I don't know, man. And they're so like gleeful about it. You know, they're so absolutely gleeful about it. But it's a very weird thing right now. They're just angry, bro. Like, I mean, I really believe that they're just angry. They hate the healthcare industry, but yet they were perfectly fine with literally healthcare tyranny for 4 fucking years, right? They can't stand the healthcare industry. They've got all the healthcare CEOs terrified. And don't get me wrong, to work in healthcare, I don't think that guy should have been assassinated in the street by any stretch of the imagination. No. But however, I will say this: to run the largest healthcare company in America, you're not that good of a person. I mean, I know people think I'm a horrible person, but I left the healthcare industry. You can hear, even better yet, dear Democrats, I know a lot of you that know me think I'm a horrible person. I left the healthcare industry because I thought it was horrible. It was horrible people, like horrible people. So that gives you a picture. That gives you a picture of how it is, right? But it's not just that. Like they know it's by design. And if you're going to be upset with them, like it's weird how people will be upset with the healthcare CEO, right? Well, maybe you should be if you're going to take that energy to the healthcare CEOs, why don't you take that energy to the person that empowered them? His name's Barack Obama. You guys seem to fucking love him because Obamacare was a gift to the healthcare industry. And very frankly, without Obama and the healthcare industry, the healthcare industry would not be nearly as powerful. Obamacare was a gift to the healthcare industry. They literally made it so they wanted to make it so people had to get insurance. You had to buy something, which is just crazy to me. The mandate got pushed back. But what they did is they set in a profit maximum. They're like, I don't know if you know this, but like insurance companies can have 15% profit as a maximum, right? That's all they're allowed to have. They can't charge more than that to get their profits any higher, right? Now, what they also do, though, that's why they just keep adding administration, because about 50% of the healthcare industry is administrative costs. So they tack onto that, and the more they can bill people for their health insurance, the more that goes up. Like the more their profit goes up. That's the only way they can make more profit now. And they continually their profit. You can look at their profit graphs. It steadily goes up every single year, just like any industry. And if they can't increase their profit margin, they just increase their sales, and they increase their sales by billing more. And that's what Obama allowed them to do, right? So it's weird that like people don't put the extra thought into it, right? I am hoping that these people can yank themselves out of the craziness they're in. But a lot of these people, like this ones I was telling you about that are on Blue Sky right now, that are like, they're like, okay, people, they're trying to adopt the fuck around, find out phrase. They're like, okay, Trumpers, fuck around and find out now. You guys fucked around. Now you're going to find out. Like, I hope you get everything you voted for. Yeah, because I hope I get everything I voted for. Also, this
is my first time going here. You were right. It's absolutely unhinged.
Yeah, it is.
This is the lowest testosterone thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, they're celebrating. I mean, Oh my God. Oh, dude. It's fun. I mean, let them. I mean, at the end, all these people are still on X. This is just people from X in their echo chamber with no dissent.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. I mean, this is absolutely hysterical. I mean, wow.
Yeah, it's nuts, and like they get themselves worked into a frenzy, and I mean, a lot of them are totally convinced. Like, I mean, totally convinced that Trump is not going to risk Trump is not going to take office. They're totally convinced.
He's going to take office.
Yeah.
So, obviously Nancy Mace didn't get assaulted hard enough.
Yeah,
that's literally what they're saying. And Trump's ear, his assassination attempt, he wasn't shot enough. Like, are these people for real? Look at this. Like, this Ron Flipkowski guy, I want to fight him so bad. Like, I muted him on Twitter, but like, I just want to fight him just for like 5 minutes. Ron Flipkowski, he's a bitch from Florida. I hate this guy. Like, he needs to be just handled. Like, he needs to be beat up. It's not incitement. I'm saying that I would like a boxing match sanctioned. Just like Jake Paul challenges people, I'm challenging Ron Flipkowski to a boxing match.
Nice. Ron Flipkowski. That's a good name.
Bad name to Polacks, and it's hard to give us a bad name. I mean, even Polish people are smart enough to realize that guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
And that means he's really dumb.
That's like, really dumb.
But I mean, look, man, I look at it this way. Like, the transgender thing, the fact that we talk about it is just ridiculous. Like, just live and let live, but use your own bathroom. I'm good with that. Like, no one's mad till you started going into women's sports and into women's restrooms. Everybody was fine. We're like, cool. And they're like, well, would you like a woman going into a men's restroom? Yeah, if a dude is, if it's a man dressed as a woman, men don't care. I've said this on the show before, dude. I was at JFK Airport a few weeks ago. It was when Michigan was playing USC. I don't know what night it was because I was watching on Hulu. I'm walking in, kind of watching the game. It's the end, but I really had to pee. Flight wasn't taking off for like 20 minutes, wasn't boarding. And my buddy coaches, so I'm like, I'm going to watch this. And I'm like, I'm going to go pee. I walk in there, and there's a woman in a dress in the men's room. And I'm like, oh, I get it. That's not a woman. But nobody cared. Men were just whipping it out like normal, like, fuck it. Whatever. I'm just going to pee. Men don't care, but you get a dude in Planet Fitness's women's restrooms, it's going to be a problem.
Especially, like, I mean, dude was the whole issue with that dude. He's just looks like a guy. He just likes wearing women's dresses. He's literally shaving his fucking beard in the mirror. Like, bro, that's not. You're lucky my wife wasn't in there, dude. Like,
bro, if I was transgender, I would commit.
Oh yeah,
you've
already got a good set of knockers.
I shave too, so I mean, I'm at least there. I'd have to shave the goatee, or the beard. But like, dude, like if I was a transgender, I would take that shit seriously. Like I would shave everything. I would fucking do my nails and shit. Like I would be a good looking fucking chick. Like, or at least I'd attempt to be. Like, I would go hard. No pun intended. I would go in on being a female. Like, if I want to identify as a female, I'm going in on this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm wearing you're not gonna be able to tell. Like, I'm gonna just look like a chick on steroids at that point.
Yeah, and that's that. Would you downsize? Like,
oh no, I'd be like a female bodybuilder, and then I do those like wrestling videos with dudes and get paid.
Oh, that's
I look at it as
you've put some thought into this.
Oh, dude, I have an entire manifesto written up. I'm ready. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go. Hey, if there ever comes an opportunity and I go trans, like I'm going hard. Like I'm gonna just be sexy, you know. I'm gonna embrace my femininity. I'm gonna embrace that shit.
I absolutely love it. Yeah. So I gotta ask you, man, what do you think about the drones?
The drones are weird. I don't know where they're coming from. I don't think it's Iran, because Iran's busy figuring out what the fuck to do with Israel. I think we're just trying to come up with a reason to fight Iran.
That's what I was thinking too. I honestly, and this is no shit, bro. when they said it was Iran, in my mind, I'm thinking like, Iran has been like struggling to build, like they've had so much focused effort on building a nuclear weapon for the last 30 years, but somehow or another they figured out how to make these incredibly fast moving like drones and shit. Like I'm just not buying it, right? And here's another reason. Apparently, these things are flying over. They're flying over military bases and shit, and we're not shooting them down. Like if me and you built a drone and flew it over a military base, dude, like our families would be at our funeral. Like there's not a doubt in my mind.
If a drone flew over my house, it would be shot down by me.
Yes.
And I'm not a military base. Like all I have is maybe some secret recipes to protein bars, but I don't have like, I ain't got military stuff. Yeah. My question is like, we have the most advanced defense systems in the world and we can't like shoot down a drone. We're just like, oh, it's too fast. We have missiles that can literally hit a pimple on your ass.
Yeah.
And we have friggin' soldiers so advanced that they can wipe out a whole city, leave, and no one even knew they were there.
Right.
Okay, but we can't shoot down a fucking drone. Like, hey, here's what you do. You shoot it down, you recover it, and you figure out what the fuck's in it. Like, it doesn't sound like I know, oh, you've never been in the military. That's the problem. I have the solution, and I'm just a normal, ordinary citizen. I'm like, why don't we shoot it down? And then, like, get it, and then look at what the fuck's in it. The transmitters, where it's made. Yeah. Instead, we're like, makes me oh, shit, a drone. What should we do? Let's just let it go back.
Yeah. This makes me think that like this is a distraction thing. First of all, there's actually, and for those of you that don't know, you can actually look it up. There's a thing called Project Bluebeam where they basically fake, like they talk about faking an alien invasion to control people. Like, I mean, it's the CIA thing, right?
I don't think people would care if aliens came here. I mean, remember when they announced UFOs during 2020, 2021? It was like, meh. The only people who talked about it were me and Joe Rogan. I mean, nobody cared. It was like, I was like, bro, every day I'm on X, I'm like, there's fucking aliens. All right, all right, whatever. No engagement.
And then, so they've said it's Iran, then they said it's not Iran. And now I'm hearing that like a bunch of people have seen them come up out of the water. So they're basically coming from underwater. So they're going to sell that. So the new hidden enemy will be like, you know, Atlantis or something like that. And I don't give a shit. I want to worry about closing our border, fixing our economy, getting all the illegals out. Once we get that shit going, then maybe we can talk to the fishmen. I don't give a fuck. But until then, I don't care. You're not going to distract me. I want the healthcare industry to be completely reformed. Actually, it would be better if it was just dismantled and a new preventative model was built up based off of healthy lifestyles, intelligent supplementation, whole food nutrition, and then as pharmaceutical and surgical as a last means. I would like to see income tax gone. And for those of you Democrats that don't understand how tariff works, they've already worked. Like these people freaked out about like 25% tariff from Canada and from Mexico. Mexico won't get that tariff because they already complied. Canada's going to comply, or as Trump would say, the great state of Canada and its governor Trudeau, they can become a state. And the fucked up thing is, dude, I got like 15 clients in Canada. All of them are like, God, I hope that happens.
It's not going to happen. Trump's basically saying, hey, he's bullying people into doing what he wants to do. And that's why we elected him. That's what leadership is. You know, he's actually leading the country and getting what we need instead of us just bending over and taking it from lesser countries. And yes, Canada is a lesser country. And then they're all like, and they're talking tough, like, oh, no. I'm like, what are you going to do about it? Yeah. Like, you're not going to do anything. You still have military on horseback, guys. Like, come on. The Mounties. Are we really going to fucking send the Mounties over here? Come on. And Trump's not going to do shit. We don't want Canada.
No,
like we don't want them. He's just saying like, hey, what he's doing is he's shitting on him. Like, look, dude, you're not big enough to be saying anything. You have no leverage in this conversation. Mm-hmm. So he's just belittling him, fucking just talking a bunch of shit. And what happened? He got exactly what he wanted. I guarantee you Trudeau has no choice because Trump's gonna be like, cool, like, And if you've ever tried shipping to Canada, like that shit is unfair. Like Canada shipping here is much more favorable than us shipping them. The tariffs, the duties, it is insane. I can't do business in Canada anymore. I used to do millions of dollars in Canada. We can't, because let's say I have a product for that retails for that $30, whatever. I'd have to sell it to Canada for $5. I'm not shitting you. I could show you. I have the presentations and the spreadsheets. I've already done an analysis. Yeah, I can literally. I'm not going to show it because it has confidential shit on there.
Right.
But I've done the analyses because you know, a lot of you might not know this, but I actually have a day job where I do shit like that, like smart shit with spreadsheets and fucking Excel formulas. And dude, it's fucked. Like I actually went back to the board and I'm like, we can't do business in Canada ever. We just can't. And here's why. And they're like, holy shit, we can't. And I did due diligence. Like I sat in 4 hours of meetings trying to figure this shit out. Met with a bunch of distribution partners, and it's impossible. And that's why even like other protein brands like Vega will not do business in Canada because of that. They can't make money. You can't make money. And then the retail stores up there are assholes. So like their biggest retail stores, Loblaws, right? To get one SKU, this Canadian dollars, so it's I think it's 1.3 to 1 or something American, but it's Canadian. So it's for every SKU, not every product. So if I have 3 flavors, it's $50,000 per SKU to just get on their shelf. Slotting fee. Yeah. So insane. I would literally pay for, let's say 2 SKUs, $100,000, and then I'm making no money.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, where does this make sense?
That's a loss. I mean, truly, that's a loss. Like,
well, no, it's absolutely a loss. You're selling at a negative because what they're paying is less than my cost. And I asked them, I'm like, how does anybody do business here? And they're like, well, they just make shit products. And then they didn't say shit. They use better terms. Like I don't talk like this during the day. Okay, evening rants. Like I talk like a professional. For those of you wondering, how the fuck does this guy make a living? So essentially, they basically all the products from the US and Canada, unless they're exorbitantly expensive, like I'm talking like triple what Canadian products are. So Canada has made it impossible for US companies to do business there.
That's crazy. And the worst part about it is
Canadian products come here all the time.
Oh yeah. Did you see that they added like another 250 guns to their ban list?
Yeah, I don't want to do, again, like I'll sell anywhere. Like if I can make a profit, I'll sell because that's my job. I provide products. I'm not here to police who I do business with. Like they shouldn't police who they buy. It's like retail stores should be like, will this product sell? Yes. Yeah. Okay. I don't care if I'm doing business with a Democrat, a socialist, a communist, a Nazi. Don't care. My job, and I've taken that stand before. The only thing I took a stand on was the mandates.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've ever taken a stand on, but it wasn't due to political affiliation. It was because of American company breaking constitutional law.
Yep.
That's it. That's the only thing I'll stand up for, the U.S. Constitution. As for that, if you're a Democrat, I'm gonna do business with you. I'm gonna call you. I'll even create a brand. I will literally, if I'm paid enough, I will create a successful brand for a Democrat, for a Democrat. If Blue Sky came to me tomorrow, Mark, you're the best at what you do, launching brands. We want you to do this. You get X% of this company, and here's what you get paid. Be like, all right, Blue Sky it is. Let's go. Doesn't mean I subscribe to it. It's like my job is to provide what I do. Like if I'm a street performer, right, and I'm performing for money, and I'm trying to, if I'm not going, hey, people watching me here, you're a Republican, I won't accept your donation. No, my job is to fucking provide cool shit. That's my job. That's my job. Exactly. So like the only thing I ever stood up for is the U.S. Constitution at a time when I think more people should have stood up. That's it. And it was a political statement. It wasn't even a political statement. It was an America statement. Because Democrats should have been like, what the hell are you doing with mandates? Like this is supposed to be, Democrats are supposed to be my body, my choice. For fuck's sakes, why were the Republicans the one who were like, yeah, I don't know. It's my body, my choice. The Democrats were like, it's not your body. We own your body. The government owns your body. Republicans were like, I don't know, man. I think a mandate's too much. Democrats are like, no, it's my body. Your body, my choice. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, crazy. It was really,
whoa.
I was really like amazed at that point in time, but we don't want to talk about that right now because we're on YouTube.
Well, we're not mentioning the word. We're not mentioning the word.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So if you don't mention the word, the algo doesn't pick it up.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's absolutely wild. The whole fucking thing is so wild.
Do you think that'll stop?
What, Democrats?
No, not Democrats, but like, do you think, because Trump has talked about like an online Bill of Rights, like where we should be able to say what we want to say and blah, 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 and not get censored. Do you think that will actually happen?
Well, the online Bill of Rights are the Bill of Rights. I didn't know that we needed a separate one. Why don't we just follow the one we use now? I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Why not? Why do we need to what are we going to just put online in front of it?
Yeah.
I mean, oh, I see what I fucked up my camera. I moved the cord. I see what happened. Yeah. So yeah, I think I don't think we need an online Bill of Rights. Why don't we just follow the Bill of Rights?
Right.
I mean, it pretty much, everything is completely transferable to digital. We don't need a new one. What are you going to put like on the internet at the end of every sentence in the Bill of Rights? Like, I don't know, or put a preamble. This applies to the internet. Like the Bill of Rights should apply to every form of communication within the United States of America. And that's why I like when people get mad, like, oh, Europe is censoring things. I'm like, no shit. They don't have our Constitution. Like, oh my God, they took away their guns. I'm like, yeah, they don't have the Second Amendment. So like when people look at other parts of the world, it's like, there's a reason why we're the greatest country in the world. It's because our founders were like, hey, we really should do this stuff because it's going to make a great country. And they were right. We are the greatest country in the world. And when we start to deviate from that, when we start to deviate from the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Third Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, we start deviating, especially the first two, which I'll argue are the most important ones.
Yeah.
Because the second one protects the first one. I just, I don't understand how we need any bill of anything. We just need to follow the shit we already have. And we're golden. We are golden. We just need to do what we should do. We should do what that says. Like just, hey, every test. So in Ambrosia, we have a test. Does this represent the brand? Does this represent what we want to be seen as? So like we're going over some gear off, some clothing options, right? And Adam goes, our president goes, hey, does that represent what we want Ambrosia to represent? What does that mean to the customer? What does that? So I think we need to do that with every test, like the Supreme Court should be doing. Does this follow the principles, at least in spirit, of the Constitution? Right. So there's in documents, I know I'm getting nerdy here, but there's the actual contract and the spirit of the agreement. Right. So let's say you don't exactly hit certain metrics or numbers. If it meets the spirit of the agreement, you don't stick to that contract because it nullifies the trust within the partners. So there's the Constitution and the spirit of the Constitution. Does this fit what the four founders meant in the spirit of the Constitution? So that's how you measure things. So what I'm getting to is everything we do as a country, every rule we make, everything we do, and that's what Supreme Court actually is there for. Right. Does this follow what our founders intended in the spirit of the Constitution? It's a simple thing that would make this country run great. Like every bill that's passed. Did you see Ohio State?
No.
So Ohio State, a lawmaker, a Republican, is trying to make it a felony. Remember how Michigan planted the flag in the middle of their field and it caused a little fight? Yeah. They're trying to make it a felony to plant a flag on Ohio State's stadium. That's what our lawmakers are doing. I got to find this shit. It is fucking wild. Here we go. Oh God, this is fucking wild. Okay.
What the fuck?
Ohio State Rep Josh Williams introduced the Ohio Sportsmanship Act Tuesday. This act would make it a felony offense to plant a flag in the center of Ohio Stadium.
A felony.
I mean, it is, dude. The thing is, when Michigan lost to Texas, Texas did it in the middle of their field, and Michigan was just like, yeah, we fucking lost. They deserve. We fucking deserve to be fucking humiliated. And then Ohio State is foolish. They start a fight over it. And I'm saying this as an innocent bystander. Like, this is objective. This is not me as a Michigan fan, because I'm not a Michigan fan. I'm a fan of their coach. But I like Michigan because he's my dude. Like, if he'd go to a new college in 5 years and I'll fucking change shirts. But it's like, dude, think about it. Somebody in the Ohio government. I need to look up this Ohio State rep, Josh Williams. I want to see how he looks. I have a feeling. I'm pulling it up right now. I got to go to people because he's obviously. Where is this? I can't find him.
What's his name? Josh Williams?
Yeah. Let's see if I just go Ohio rep. What if I just put Ohio rep Josh Williams? This dude doesn't even have a Twitter. He's not. I don't think he has a Twitter, dude, because he's not hyperlinked in anything.
Wow. Images.
Is this him? No. Let me see what this is.
By calling us soft.
I don't care.
Brett Barhorse, what do you think of this legislation?
Who's?
Williams, to ban flag planting.
I think sportsmanship should be cool again. I mean, he's just trying to help us out.
Is sportsmanship is be cool?
Look at this fat fuck. I mean, sportsmanship should be cool. Why do you legislate sportsmanship? This fat fuck.
Is that what we're about? Is this what we've become on Capital Square? Sportsmanship.
If I have to be called soft to preserve the integrity of our institutions and
preserve the integrities of our institution.
Oh, here he is, Josh Williams, Ohio. Oh my God, is it? Is he a Republican?
Yep.
He's a Republican?
He sounds like a Mitch McConnell Republican.
I want to see the comments on. He got ratioed.
Yeah.
Robert Griffin, RG3. Oh God. Oh, bow-tied Yukon for the win on that meme. Maybe they should just learn how to not take an L. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Can we focus on the important issues? Soft as F. Oh my God. This guy's career is over.
Over. You just ended your fucking career. Being
man, I'm gonna go really, really hard on this one. Yeah. I'm glad we took time to find this guy.
Me too.
Me too. I mean, I want to see that interview again. Like, did we finish? I don't think we finished it, did we?
On a soft on Twitter. I'm gonna
offer an amendment.
It's some Notre Dame fans. It's not. It's nasty. Or force, right? I mean, that was. I think that. Oh yeah, I've been Mace. It's some Notre Dame fans. It's on Twitter. Some Notre Dame fans saved me.
So what we did when we went to Michigan and won, we just had our band play for a half hour before we all leave.
Yeah.
So that's how you do it.
But Ferguson, this isn't government overreach to you, big government?
Michigan doesn't count. As long as it's
really, this is not a joke. This is our taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
Fucking Ohio. God damn it.
It's allowed.
Ohio State. Nobody likes Ohio State in the state of Ohio except for Columbus. For the record, Cincinnati, we fucking hate you. Okay. Yeah. Sylvania hates you. They're right by fucking there. And he's the Sylvania. I mean, that's right up in the border.
How to happen.
Yeah. Damn, I'm going
to offer an amendment. It only applies to the team up north.
So they would get arrested, in your arrested charge book right there.
You don't have to get arrested in Ohio when it comes to a felony. You can get a direct indictment. You can get a bill of information. You don't have to technically get arrested.
Yeah,
but you have a felony on your record.
And 9 times out of 10, if it ever got charged, it'll get reduced down to a misdemeanor and a fine.
Yeah.
But
and why even do it?
The idea was to send a shot across the bow, saying, whatever you need to do, step in, otherwise we will.
They're calling us soft, brother. They're calling us soft. I mean, as a tweet, it's like a tweet,
As long as they're calling Ryan Day soft, that's fine.
Yeah, Ryan Day is soft. Do you think Ryan Day should be?
He needs to go.
He needs to go?
He needs to go.
This is, okay, guys, look, man, okay, I love Mike Cernovich. He's not a big fan of sports ball. My kids play sports ball. I live in sports ball fan. Sports ball should not be This is not joking. Like, that's the problem. Government's a big fucking joke to these guys.
Yep. Yeah.
They're using their power to pass a bill over college football teams fucking celebrating. Really?
Wild.
Yeah. That might require a YouTube video. I might make that. I might make that my fitness. I think that goes on the fit because it's sports and fitness, right? Because this is really near and dear to my heart because this crosses the line, dude. Like, dude, you don't legislate that. Like, planting a flag on a field is a felony.
So there's also here's my thing, man. Like, we watch people play football, right? And it's a pastime in America. I don't watch football because it's not my thing. Like, don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I used to, and I actually kind of like playing football. I never played it when I was in high school because I was too small. I graduated high school like 135 pounds. But my thing is this: what the fuck do you think you're watching? Well, you know what I mean? Like, it's
modern day gladiators.
It's modern day gladiators. What the fuck do you think you're watching? I saw the NFL is going to eliminate any blocks like below the knee, right? Any block, right? And a bunch of the players are like, fuck no, don't do that. Fuck no. Like, the more you suck the fun out of this shit for people, it becomes more of a business. And then whenever people need to enjoy this shit. And I just don't understand why the government feels the need to write the rules over all of this shit. Like, so basically you're upset that one team embarrasses another team. Like, it's the same thing. It's like the expectations of the soft language and nobody needs to have their feelings hurt. We live in a society where a lot of people should get their feelings hurt a lot more to fuck often. And they try to avoid it by literally controlling speech and controlling action. I'm not talking physical damage, but planting a flag in the ground after you win,
Alan,
is not hurting anybody.
You can't plant it. It's turf. It's symbolic. They stab it in the ground. They hold it there for a second, then they go home. They do it in high school games.
They're not even damaging the field. I mean,
it's turf. It's friggin' AstroTurf. So here's the thing. Oh my goodness. Do you understand that these players are modern day gladiators and they're very, very driven, very macho. And if they win, they're going to plant their flag. Like, it's like when in battle, when you win a battle on the war field, you plant your flag there. That's what we look at football as, dude. At the end of the season, because we went to the final game, 15 games for a high school season, 5 months of football. Do you understand how destroyed my kids were? Yeah. Like, I'm talking, our linebacker's ankle was this big and he's just taping it to play through it. Bone bruises on shoulders, strained traps. I'm talking, I'm dealing right now with more injury care than I care to. You know, I'm basically triage. And at the end of the year, we would spend 2-3 hours, and we had to bring all our rehab tools to games. And on the sideline, we're just trying to get them through the game.
Yeah. Dude,
football is a violent sport, violent sport of really large, enormously, almost disgustingly large men running into each other full speed. Dude, if you win a game in the biggest rivalry in college football, planting a flag, again, Michigan had it done to them twice this year.
Yeah.
And they didn't start a fight. You know why? Because they're not soft-ass pussies like Ohio State and Ryan Day. I said it. Look, man, Ohio State, not only did he embarrass himself, he embarrassed the Ohio State football team because now they all look like a bunch of bitches. I mean, it is just insane. But what I'm mad at is the abuse of government.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. We need to remind our governments, like the state and federal government, that their job is very basic. They want to control everything when they should control very little. They should work to help us. They should work to help the people. This does not help the people. This controls action. Like that, just like you're saying, like it's the spirit of the agreement, right? The spirit of the agreement when we elect you is that you're going to do shit that's beneficial to us, right?
It's beneficial to nobody. And it makes, I bet you Ohio State's football team is like God damn, I can't believe he did that. Now we look like total bitches. He
I bet
embarrassed
that
the
affects their
entire state of
recruiting.
Ohio.
I bet you that affects their recruiting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It would affect. I mean, look, man, Michigan's cleaning house right now. They got the #1 recruit in the country with their quarterback. It's going to be a good year, good next 4 years for Michigan, but they're cleaning up in the portal because their coach isn't a bitch. Because Michigan loses. They had a bad year, right? It's a rebuilding year. They just run a natty. They lost 10 people in the NFL, but they're like, we lost. Yep. You can plant your flag. Cool. We're going to go in the locker room. And if we don't go in the locker room, our coach is going to make us do up downs. But this guy, I mean, and guess what? When the fight broke out, Michigan's coach is out there in the field breaking it up. Ohio State's coach is standing there watching. Look, man, the problem is you shouldn't have lost the game. And this, but that's, I don't want to look, man. I know a lot of people. I know people go to Ohio State. I'm not going to talk shit on Ohio State, but I'm going to talk shit on their government because you're making me talk shit about Ohio State, which I don't want to do. I actually like Ohio State. I don't.
Right. In
the rivalry game, again, if Michigan and Ohio State, if they played and I didn't know somebody on Michigan, I'd be like, oh, whatever. It's gonna be a fun game to watch. Don't care who wins. Right. Oh God. But anyway, I'm gonna have to do a fitness video on that because it's about the nature of sports, and it probably won't get any views, but I have a lot to say. But anyway, I think that's our time for the day. But we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, hell yeah. And hopefully if the drones actually are aliens, at least we'll know the names by then.
Well, the way the news week is, it's a shame I've been missing because, dude, the news cycle's been wild.
Dude, every day I end up talking about crazy shit. I'm just like, it's what we said. Like they're somebody is trying to basically stage an alien invasion or some sort of invasion. I told everybody, me and you told everybody, once Trump got elected, the time between when he was elected, the time when he was and actually took office was going to be fucking crazy. Like, I mean, absolutely fucking insane. It was going to be totally nuts. And here we are talking about alien invasions and shit like that. So it is what it is. But man, it was great to have you back. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Yes.
I'll text you. For those of you that don't know, you can head over to theambrosiacollective.com or tigerfitness.com. Pick yourself up some No Morbidity, some alchemy, help yourself control your appetite, control your sugar cravings, control your carb cravings to get healthy in 2025. We need to make America healthy again. And the only way we can do that is if everybody participates. We need everybody to try to either stay healthy, get healthy, or help other people get healthy. That's how we fix this. We can litigate all sorts of shit, but it takes we the people to make sure that we the people get healthy. And
absolutely.
On that note, we will exit out with, I believe it is a nice little package by one Mike Rashid.
Let's go.
Ladies, come here. If you want to burn body fat, not just a little bit, but a lot, I got the perfect stack for you. It's 3 products. Ember, which is a powerful thermogenic that you take in the morning, suppresses your appetite to a degree, and it raises your metabolic rate and have you burning calories all day long. Alchemy. What Alchemy is going to do is it allows you to eat those carbs in your meal guilt-free. It's going to take those carbs and burn it off as fuel, so you have plenty of energy throughout the day. Before you go to bed, you're going to take no morbidity. It's the best part of the stack because while you sleep, a deep, restful sleep, it's going to be burning calories, burning fat all night long. So you're going to wake up not feeling groggy, feeling refreshed, ready to go about your day. So we got you covered all day long. This is called the Holy Trinity Stack. And ladies, it's for y'all, for the queens.